So we're going to start by gathering our supplies. The first thing I asked you to do for this assignment was to gather photo sources. So these are my photo sources that I'll be working with. And you can tell I'm using a killer whale. You'll also need to have your masking tape, your scissors, some bits of cardboard possibly, depending on your design, and newsprint, some sort of newspaper. Of course, if you have plain newsprint, it just doesn't matter. You're just trying to find a paper that's rather thin. All right, the reason the photo source is important is because we're working in form. And when you work in form, it's not an actual shape, it's all sides. So this obviously is just a shape that you see. You could outline it and make a cookie cutter out of it. It's a shape. But when you're trying to make something that's actually 3D, it means that all sides of it are viewed. You have to understand absolutely every side of it. Now, this particular whale I made back when I was about 19 or 20. I can't remember, but somewhere many, many moons ago. I did not have a photo source, and I was working at a craft booth at a local, it was like a craft fair for kids through our science center. And I was listening to this artist, and he was explaining how to do these paper mache whales, so I just went home and did one, but I did it without a photo source. I did it just for sort of memory, or just, really made up what I thought I knew about whales. And this is what I came up with. It's not too bad. But one thing I learned was the whale looks fine that way, and it looks fine that way for the most part, but it does not look, I'll have to go this way. Can you see how in 3D these fins are not even, one is higher than the other, one is twisted and one is flat. So I was gearing everything towards a look like that, more of a shape. Like, is the silhouette correct? Is the silhouette correct? And in a way it was, but it's not okay when I look nose on. I guess it could look like an action figure. I mean, like it's in a little action shot. But it had I had a photo source, oh my goodness, it would have been far better. I had a photo source when I went to go paint it because I really didn't know, and I went in. That's when I actually realized, oh, holy moly, I messed that up. So, yeah. Anyway, I suggest highly that you take photo sources that are showing from different angles. And the one photo source I'm actually noticing now that I look at mine is that I'm sort of lacking really good detail on the tail. It might be nice if I found one that had like a whale tail sticking up out of the water and it was completely showing me exactly what a whale tail looks like. So anyway, make sure that you have some sort of photo source that really, those references that will help you to design it better. All right, I'm going to stick these to the side, but please understand I am still viewing them. All right, we are going to be running to get ourselves to this point for the first week of our assignment. So this is a whale that I made when I was demoing in class today, and spent some more time. There's a few finishing things on it that I want to do. I'll do that at the end of the video. But this is where we're shooting for the end of the week, just this paper with inserted detail. Some of the inserted detail can be even bits of wire or all sorts of things. I'm going to bring toothpicks, wire, little things. So if you have antennas like on a submarine, or some detail on a plane, or you're making a blimp, or anyway, let me know if there's anything I can bring. I will bring it to class. All right, so let's take a look. We have our newsprint, and I'm going to start my whale. So open that up. Gosh, I wish I could get this little tire. So I'm going to start by balling this up and adding to it. Now you could tape the ball to begin with, or I'm going to kind of incorporate that ball into more. Okay, I think I'll tape this down. It's kind of getting a little bit, see, it's sticking away. It's sticking out of my hands. I can't quite grasp it, so it's a good time to get some tape and tape it down. So go around, tape that down. And how about I make this a very, make a smaller whale rather than the standard size I'm used to. That might be a little faster, because this video is already longer than I wanted it to be. It's important that you just add enough tape to kind of keep the flaps down and keep the shape intact. You don't need to take your masking tape and go wrap. You know, it's not a mummy. Already you'll notice quite a bit of tape will be added on just because you're trying to keep that shape intact and add in some detail. But you do not need to on purpose wrap the thing. Try to avoid that. Again, there's enough tape as it is. And you see how that's opening up right there? So I'm going to try to make like a crisscross to support that better. So I'll just go ahead on one side, bring it across the top, and on the bottom. And I'll go the other direction. Start at the bottom, and okay, looking at my photo sources, my tail might need to be a little longer, huh? Grab some paper. This is too much paper, I think, so I'm going to take some off. Just kind of smash it. And then you take your tape and secure it. If you really needed to get something much thinner, like actually that tail needs to be a lot thinner, you're going to squeeze it pretty hard and then tape it down. Keep squeezing, and taping. I'm sorry, don't you? Okay, let's pretend I made him rather straight. I want to show you how to curve something. Put him on the table for a minute. Try to straighten him out. If you wanted to make sure, hold on, let me get that tail stuff. I have all these pre-slugged, pre-cut bits, and they are liking to stick to each other. I'm having a party over here on my chair. See how it really starts looking like a mummy. You don't want to on purpose make a mummy because it's going to be bad enough as it is. Okay. There, I'll put that on the counter for now. If you wanted to make this thing bend and stay bent, and obviously I'm doing a bit of hole here, but what you'd want to do is that crisscross thing I showed you, but I'm going to do it on the abdomen. And so I would start on one side of the head and hold it in that curved position and bring it through. And then I would do the same thing on the other side. And then if that's starting to gap in there, can you see the hole down in there? I would just take, a piece of tape and collar it. Just kind of wrap it around the middle. And that's going to secure it into kind of a position. You know, can you see how if you were to make a, say a leg of something, or the back tail of a horse mane, or an elbow of a guy, or you just turn it, oh yeah, look at him, he's a little muscle man. You could do something like that. It's the same thing. So if you need to bend it, depending on what the shape is, obviously I'm trying to make a mini whale, but if you need to bend, that's a great way to really secure it and tighten it down. So that is the main form. Just keep adding, crumpling, taping, adding, and wadding, and continuing to build. The next thing I'm going to show you is adding the fins to it. And then I also want to talk about some cardboard techniques that you can use that if you were to use, if you were to be forming it, I guess we're doing two things at once. I just want to shorten this video up. If you were going to make legs to something, I want to show you how to do that too. Okay, I'll see you in a second.